The whole deal is like some kind of crazy game.
Exclusively on MorningShowCentral.com.
Hello, and welcome to High on Sports. I'm Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
And whether you are joining us tonight on one of the many glorious apps or at home on your computer, thank you for making High on Sports a part of your evening.
Yeah. What was that?
If you're watching on your computer, you can call us toll-free, 1-888-668-0742. Email your questions or comments to shows with an S at morningshowcentral.com. You can find us on Twitter at high_on_sports, or use the hashtag HighOnSports or the hashtag MSC Radio Network. And, of course, we are on Facebook, facebook.com/HighOnSports is the fan page. Go ahead and give it a like. The website is highonsports.net with Mark's blog is on there. And then Mark's latest post was about NBA All-Star Weekend, his thoughts on it, and all the festivities that surround. And it's just a good read all around. Go ahead and check it out. As well as the archive of all our past shows and a bunch of other fun stuff. Again, that is highonsports.net. We have got, I always say we got a jam-packed show. I say that a lot. We have a really jam-packed show today. We are full to the brim. I am wasting all of our time by talking about how much we have to talk about. It's round one. Let's do this thing.
I want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat room right now.
Hey, chat room.
MorningShowCentral.com/watch. No password is needed.
That's right.
Just put in a name, hit enter.
Start chatting.
There you go. It's that simple. It is so simple. I would say so simple a caveman could do it, but I think we'd get sued. But I did say it. So anyways, we've got a huge show. Again, Olympics, basketball. It's so much. At 7:15, we will be joined on the phone by men's basketball coach from Baldwin Wallace. Head coach Dwayne Sheldon from B-Dub will be joining us to talk a little OAC action and all that fun stuff. Really interesting. Coached in high school as well as college. So really unique perspective on that. Maybe get some of his thoughts on what's going on in the college basketball world today. And some other fun stuff. Again, that's 7:15, B-Dub coach Dwayne Sheldon. Every time I say B-Dub, I get hungry. It's like I'm trained like a dog. Say B-Dub, and I'm like,
Wings, yeah.
Garlic parm? Yeah, why not? No, let's Olympics. Bum, 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 Olympic music. I hate the Winter Olympics. I'm just gonna go right at it. I'm gonna go right at it.
You're a hater.
Yeah, maybe that's what I am. The one thing I like about the Winter Olympics is I hear the theme song, which makes me think of the Summer Olympics, which makes me happy and excited. It reminds me we're only 2 years away from Rio, so that's gonna be fun. Oh, this time zone is the stupidest thing in the world. I hate time zones. I think everybody should have to live their life on the same time, and if you're in the other side of the world, you just have to go about your day at dark. If that's how it works, then that's how it works.
We didn't have to worry about this before the internet.
Exactly.
They would just air it on TV.
Right, because there was no spoilers.
Right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like even though China was at an obscure time as far as us from a difference in time zone, I feel like England was the first one where it was really, really a problem. It's hard to think of 2008 not being as far along technologically because it still feels
Wait, why would England be worse than Russia? England's closer.
No. I mean, not worse than Russia. I'm saying worse than the previous Olympics before that was China.
How would it be worse than China? Isn't China farther that way too?
Let me explain. I mean, because of the time-wise, 2008 versus 2012 is by 2012. We still had spoilers with the China one, but honestly,
it wasn't as much.
This, but it's not what it was today. I literally within arm's reach. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could reach your computer. That's 5. I could stretch reach 6 things right now that can all spoil the Olympics for me like that without me even wanting it to. I cannot even be trying to. My mother. She's not all technology and stuff. She wants to watch the Olympics. God bless her. But I'm even flipping through channels. I put something on some ESPN or something, and they're talking about it right there when they haven't even shown it.
Well, that's why it was so hard with Michael Phelps 2 years ago.
Not even a point.
When with Michael Phelps, because it was his last Olympics, you always wanted to see if he was going to win a gold medal in all of his races.
Absolutely.
And it would happen during the day, And then it'd be all over the internet, and I'd have to literally stay away from everything.
Oh, exactly.
So I could watch it at night.
And that's why I can't do that. I would rather miss the event. I'm the type of person I just cannot stand. I'm so addicted to technology at this point. I can't not be perusing Facebook or something, or anything on my phone. I can't be like not on a computer going to hionsports.net all the time. So I literally, I've never been one to record games. Everybody would do that, like, oh, I really want to watch this game, so I record it. Like, don't tell me how it ends. I can't do that because I'm gonna find out how it ends.
Yeah.
I would rather,
no matter what you do, you always find out.
I would rather miss it and see highlights.
Yeah.
Than wait for a delayed thing, something like that. I can stream this stuff. Is a cool thing. Almost any gadget you got, a phone, a tablet, a computer, you can stream these events when they're live. The problem is when they're live, it's like a terrible time of day. Like it
is. It's right in the middle of the noonish.
Exactly.
Because they're 9 hours ahead.
Exactly. Their last event starts at about 1 every day. Is how it's been. It's like 1 in the afternoon. Who's just hanging out at that? I don't know. I mean, and then the other stuff is it's all super early or super late, depending on your perspective. It's just, just time-wise, it's a disaster. Rio is 3 hours ahead. Is it ahead?
See, that one,
or ahead, I guess, of us in the Eastern time zone here. That won't be bad. That won't be terrible. That'll be close enough that it's like, okay, cool. But I mean, this is the main reason that I'm rooting for an Olympics to come back to America is this.
Right.
I don't actually care about the whole world coming to see America, whatever. Like, you've seen it. It's pretty much the same.
No, we've had a summer and a winter Olympics.
Exactly. Like, the rest of the world, they've seen us. They've seen us, pictures of us online and stuff.
We are new. America.
Nothing's new, but I want them here because of a time zone issue. I would love an Olympics in New York. I feel like it would be bad. I mean,
I feel
terrible. Like it'd be good, but it'd be really bad
it'd be
at the same time.
terrible.
Like, everybody would just be a bunch of dicks. Like, the whole time. It would be.
I don't know. There'd be nowhere to put an Olympic. Or
there's not
anything in New York. There's literally nowhere to put anything else in New York.
Traffic and stuff. Ugh. I don't even want to think about that. Bring the Olympics to
That's why
Columbus. There you go.
Hey.
Columbus Olympics. They could even put like an event or two. They could use some facilities here in Cleveland. That's not
too far.
That's close enough.
Yeah, couple.
Why not?
4 hours.
Why not? Put something over here. We'll host the.
There's been events further away than Columbus to Cleveland.
Sure, we could.
Olympics.
We can have a winter.
Especially the winter because they got to find mountains.
If we have the winter we're having right now, we aren't going to need to bring snow in at all.
Oh God, no.
There's an Olympic-sized ski jump ramp just right outside, just formed naturally from like the plow. That's what our parking lot. I mean, that's every parking lot in this town right now, actually, though. But it's just a disaster. But anyways, this Olympics, the biggest part is, and I'm sure all of you have heard about this and everything, is just the accommodations for the reporters and athletes is atrocious. There's pictures all over the internet of water that's like orange or something. I thought it was orange juice. Nope. It's water. They're opening.
They got rust in it.
Their yogurt or Jello or whatever that they got to eat. There's a big bug in it. I mean, locks on doors aren't working. There's rooms where there's no shower curtains on some of the stalls. There's been pictures all over the place of toilets right next to each other in a bathroom. Not a wall dividing, nothing like that. Just almost touch it. Like if you were going to the bathroom and someone else is going to the bathroom,
you'd be touching legs?
It would be impossible for you not to touch legs.
That's a little weird.
And I'm talking like a sit-down toilet, not like urinals that are a little close where it's like, yeah, you can figure it out.
Yeah.
No, like sit-down toilets. And there's signs that some of them claiming, please do not flush any paper in the toilet. Please just throw it out and let hotel, house cleaning come in and throw it out later. Yeah. I mean, they don't want it to flush because their toilets can't handle it. This place is not prepared to have people.
Russia, you've known for how many years you were going to have an Olympics?
This place is not fit for people to live in,
oh my
let
God.
alone stop by for 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
They still have buckets they throw out the window.
Yeah,
Russia.
Much. Exactly. You might as well at that point use a chamber pot. Go in a bucket and pour it out the window.
What the hell is wrong with Russia?
And then I don't even want to get all serious on you, but then there's the issue with the dogs. So many stray dogs, and there's always reports coming out that all these dogs, some of them don't look feral. Most of them look well groomed, like they were pets that people got too many of or couldn't handle it or something. These dogs, they're not like attacking you. They're friendly dogs.
Aww.
You know, but there's just so many of them. They're paying. I'm hearing some reports that some government places in Russia are offering as much as up to $500 per dog that you kill.
Why do they gotta kill them?
Because they just want to get rid of them.
Dude, I don't like fucking Russians.
This is a disaster. I'm sorry.
It is.
This is a disaster. Now, as far as on the field disaster, the United States is only in 4th right now.
We're only 2 behind.
That's true. Looking at the medal count, Canada is up on top. They are 3 gold, 3 silver, and a bronze for 7 total. Followed by the Netherlands with 3 gold, 2 silver, and 2 bronze. Again, giving them 7. And Norway not far behind them. Yeah, 2 gold, a silver, 4 bronze. And then here's the big one. The United States, 2 gold, both in slope style. The new snowboarding event this year, which is picture like snowboarding down a mountain, but somebody left all their garbage. It's got ramps, it's got rails and stuff to go down. I don't know. It's a little too X Games for me. I've never been big into the snowboarding world.
I love snowboarding.
I'm not an X Games guy. I just can't. I don't understand. Like when they're skateboarding. It's just a massive crowd, and everybody's got like monster hats and shirts and stuff. And
I love
just
snowboarding.
Some punk skateboarding. All I can do when I see him just mess around, I'm like, get a job. But I don't know. Again though, I'm a hater. We've established that. So it's just this Olympics so far. By the way, I forgot even to mention that there's talks of hotels aren't finished. They're greatly undermanned on hotels. Some sidewalks are not even paved yet, and this is already going on. Did you see the rings? By the way, the opening ceremony. Opening ceremony was fine, good enough, sure. Except at the end when all 5 rings were supposed to open up, the 5th one did not open.
Yeah,
it stayed closed, so there was only 4 rings. Now, if you were watching this in Russia, which I'm sure none of you listening were. If you were watching it in Russia, you saw them cut to the rehearsal footage, which was correct. So if you were watching in Russia, you merely saw it go off without a hitch. Now, anywhere else, I could get all geopolitical on you and talk about that's a small sample size of the censorship Russia is having on its people, but I won't. I will choose to just point out that it was probably, and I'm not using hyperbole here, one of the biggest mistakes in an Olympics opening ceremony that we've had in quite a number of years. And that's not necessarily a knock against them. It's just we've had some really, really solid opening ceremonies lately. And I'm not just talking a matter of being good. I mean, they just, mistake-free. But it's hard. I just don't feel like Russia was the place that this should have been. And again, they decided this years ago, 6 years ago, if not more. But I don't know. I'm watching. I'm trying to support the country, but again, like we said, this time difference, it just kills it for me. It just kills it for me. I mean, whenever there's an event on TV, I just open up my computer and this guy's about to win. So there's that. And then it doesn't help that the U.S. is again, it's early. They've got time. They will catch up. But the U.S. is not nearly as dominant in the Winter Olympics as it is in the Summer Olympics, and maybe that's part of it. I'm a bit of a homer. I root for the United States, obviously. But you and I were talking about the ski jump stuff they're doing. The ramp, it was bothering me because this one event was literally they were just jumping in the air and then they were landing. I thought they were going to do some cool flips or something.
No, they don't do flips in the jump.
Just
the
some
jump
stuff.
They do this weird thing where you like fold yourself in half. Don't you like stick your skis out in front? And
you do
like that.
You do. You're
and
like
you just fly and go really far, and that's about it.
Yeah, and I just like we were talking though. There's grooves made into the ramp. I swear that's new this year because I don't believe I've ever seen it before.
I don't remember ever seeing that before either.
There are grooves in the ramp, tracks to put your ski.
That just makes it too easy.
So at that point, are you really even doing anything, or you're just along for
Basically,
the ride?
it's all about, at that point, it's all about aerodynamics.
Exactly.
And getting as less wind resistance as you can to make you jump farther.
That becomes all the sport is. It's just
Yeah.
can you bend right or crouch right or anything like that. And it's just, I don't know. Not my thing, not my style, but the ice skating, is it Netherlands that's running away with it? I mean,
I like ice skating.
they're really taking it on the speed track. All right, we're about to get Coach Dwayne Sheldon. Hi, Coach Sheldon. It's the guys from On Sports.
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh, not much. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How's the connection? All right.
Yep.
Sounds good on our end. Let's get right into this here. I want to start with something. Just the fact that there's a big college basketball story going on, and we happen to have a college basketball coach on the line. I'd be remiss if I didn't at least bring it up. Have you really been paying attention to at the Oklahoma State, the whole Marcus Smart situation?
Did see some clips of it on Sports Center. It's hard to miss. Obviously, the last couple of days. Yeah, not a good situation.
No, absolutely not. I mean, as a coach, that's got to be one of the worst nightmares.
It's funny because I'm thinking to myself, I don't think we've actually ever covered that with our guys.
No, it almost seems like something you shouldn't need to. In my opinion, it seems obvious. Don't touch the fence.
As a college coach, you try to think of all those things. Try to cover everything, and that's one that you don't ever think of. But like you said, you shouldn't have to.
Exactly.
But you just never know. You just never know the situation and what might arise, and it's an unfortunate thing the way it happened. But obviously, I think every coach in the country now is going to address it with their guys and be ready for that, I guess.
No, absolutely. The sport as a whole learns from what happens and continues on. I want to ask you something because, obviously in my doing my research and everything, you were a high school coach in the 90s. And now, obviously, being at the college level, your second college coaching job along the way. How different is it, the game, coaching at the high school level versus coaching at the college level?
Well, I think right away the biggest difference is obviously the age level at the young men that you're trying to shape, not only as basketball players, but probably more importantly as people. I think the biggest difference that I took, I think, from high school compared to college, I think you have more of an influence on the high school student-athlete than you do the college student-athlete, if that makes sense. I think more influence on them, shaping them as a person. Not that that's not an important part of a job as a college coach, but I always believe that I think they're at more of an impactful age in the high school years. And there were some great things about coaching high school that I still miss, but obviously there's some great things about coaching college as well that makes that a special situation.
Now, interesting that you brought up the age. Speaking of age, I looked at your roster. You've got, if I'm not mistaken, about a third of your team is seniors. How do you adapt losing that, big of a group of players going into next year? How do you sort of roll with that much change?
Well, I think that's something we're going to have to think about and be prepared for as this season ends and we move on to next year. I do think, we really are right now with 6 seniors that are playing, a couple injuries and things. It might appear that we have more, but 6 seniors are in the rotation. Some of those play probably a little bit more major roles than others, but we're playing 3 freshmen on a regular basis and another freshman that got hurt. So it won't be like we're losing our whole team and starting over. We're starting 2 juniors, bringing 3 freshmen off the bench. So we are going to have some guys back that have had some great experience. Be a different team, obviously. I think when you lose that many guys in your rotation, it's very rare that you'll be the same type of team when they move on, just because everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. So we're not ready to look at that yet, but that is always an issue when you're talking about college, and especially Division III. You don't always have the choice of who you're getting and what positions you're getting them at. We obviously can't offer scholarships, so a lot of times you just, you recruit as hard as you can, and you hope you get the guys that you're really recruiting hard, and whoever comes your way, that's, in a way, it's kind of like high school. You got to figure out the best way to be competitive with the players that you have on your team.
Now, speaking of recruiting, we hear all the times with coaches that it's a year-round thing. I mean, is there an off season for you as a coach, or is as soon as the last game's played, you celebrate and enjoy the moment, and then tomorrow you just get right back at next season?
It's funny. Division III is the only division that doesn't have a recruiting calendar. So the 12 months out of the year, as Division III coaches, you're allowed to recruit and contact kids, and they're actually looking to change that and try to come up with a recruiting calendar. There's dead periods and evaluation periods for the Division I and Division II universities, but for us, it's all year. And I think it depends on each coach's philosophy and how they work. We will rarely recruit a kid before he's a senior. Our biggest challenge in recruiting is when we contact these good players over the summer or early in the fall of their senior year, most of them think they're Division I at that point. They still think they're going Division I. So there's an interesting process we go through that, you kind of have to wait for them to realize that maybe they're not going to play at Ohio State or Duke. And that's why we're talking to them. It's hard to tell the guys that, but they start to figure it out as the year goes on, and then come springtime, maybe when Ohio State and Michigan isn't knocking at their door, they realize that maybe they are a Division III player. It's a long process, and really, I guess to answer your question, depends on the philosophy of the coach. There's a lot of coaches that don't do a lot of recruiting until the season starts, and others that get on it right away and try to work through that process over the course of 12 months.
Well, I commend you, though, by the way, on one of the things you said, only really going after seniors. I really like that, because to me, I dislike the system a little bit when it starts getting at younger and younger players getting in their ears, because at some point you're just, some schools are just, they're basically talking to kids and trying to, have kids make such big decisions, and I commend you on that, only going after seniors. But
well, I can tell you, I mean, you start to evaluate them when they're juniors, probably even younger, and I don't know how those Division I guys do it and start offering guys at, freshman and sophomore years. I just, I'm not good at that.
I know, yeah.
Because I can't project how a kid from a 10th grader is going to, turn out to be as a senior. All I know is a junior, we have a pretty good idea, but really, you really don't know. All of us that have played high school athletics, we know what a difference there is between your junior and senior year of competing in high school. So it's something that I just think you put yourself in a tough situation if you're evaluating a kid too soon, and you just never know. A lot of things can happen in a 16 to 17, 18-year-old kid's life in 2 to 3 years.
Exactly. They're going after some of these kids that haven't even hit their growth spurt yet. But
exactly.
I want to, we're nearing the end here on time, unfortunately, but I want to ask you a question, though, just a little bit from your perspective is, now you are the last coach, your mentor from Baldwin Wallace, Steve Bankson, was there for 28 years, if I'm not mistaken. What is that like, going from him for 28 years? I mean, the pressure has to be unbelievable, especially in year one.
Well, it was a unique situation in the fact that I played for Coach in the 4 years at Baldwin Wallace, and then was actually an assistant for him for 3 years. After I coached high school for 5 years, went back as an assistant, and then had to coach against him for 6 years when I was at Heidelberg University. So it was a really unique situation. Replacing him, I don't know about the pressure. I think once you get going in whatever job it is you're doing, if you're approaching it the right way and doing it to the best of your ability and taking it day by day and trying to get better, I think a lot of those pressure things are outside. Obviously we don't get scrutinized or pounded on by the media maybe as much as the Division I or the professional coaches do. So I think it was more of, hey, Coach Bankson did an outstanding job. He was, a great person, and just continue to build on the tradition and the success that he built on. I think it was probably more of a responsibility feeling, being a Baldwin Wallace graduate. Let's make sure we keep this thing going, because Coach had it going for so long, and we owe it to every guy that's ever played at BW and played for Coach to keep it rolling. So I approached it more as, hey, not pressure, but hey, let's make sure we keep this great thing that Coach Bankson started going.
That's awesome. School pride. I love it. Unfortunately, due to time, we got to start getting going, but I want to thank you so much for joining us, Coach Sheldon. It was a pleasure.
Hey, thanks for having me, and you guys are doing a great job. Sounds like you're having a lot of fun. Keep it up.
All right. You have a good
Take
night.
care, Coach.
All right. Good night.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Nice hearing a little more about D3, because you really, I didn't even know that about the recruiting, that it can go year-round.
Yeah, and
That's
it's got to
interesting.
be so hard with D3 because, like you said, everyone wants to go D1, and then even then you still have D2.
Like you say, now that was really interesting. I thought, going to these guys who think they're Ohio State,
Yeah.
Duke, and
Hell, I thought I was going to
you.
Ohio State to play softball, and then I realized no one's calling me, and I ended up at
Season
BG.
winds down and
But I want to talk a little bit about that. By the way, something we brought up with him is Marcus Smart. This is big.
Yeah.
It is big. It's because it could set all kinds of new precedences. Like Coach Sheldon just said. Now it's something you have to cover with your
Yeah.
players, and it really it wasn't something you thought to do. Let's set the table here a little bit. Is obviously, if you didn't know, and you have to know by now. I've seen the video. It's a hard thing to analyze. I don't like analyzing videos like this. I feel like I'm like CSI trying to figure out like a murder or something. But either way, he falls into the stands. Marcus Smart, fourth-year player, senior out of Oklahoma State. He falls into the stands. Is getting up. Whatever. This guy clearly says something to him. What we've heard from various camera angles before is he clearly does say, "You piece of crap." And after that, we don't know if there's anything more after that or anything like that. But you see Smart sort of get into his face, and the guy you see him jaw a little bit, and, Smart pushes him. And that's when the woman with him, maybe his wife or something, is pointing like, "Oh, no!" And he gets pulled away, and he's yelling and squirming, and they pull him and take him off the court. And announced, what was it, yesterday, 3-game suspension is what he will be serving. And now self-proclaimed Texas Tech superfan Jeff Orr has said that he is personally giving himself more or less a suspension, if you will. He will not attend any more home or away Texas Tech games the rest of this season. And he did issue a statement of apology. Now that's what happened. Those are the facts. The part that is still a little up in the air is Marcus Smart does claim that Jeff Orr used a racial slur while he was talking to him. And the thing is, if he did, I believe that in a different venue, if we're at a parking lot of a Chili's or somewhere else, and he says what Marcus claimed he said, put him on his ass. Put him down. Put him on his ass. Why not? But you
have to control
can't
yourself on
here
a court, a basketball.
I feel for him, but he can't.
Yeah, you can't do it. I played sports all through high school. I played softball in college. Fans are gonna talk smack to you when you go into their home court, their home field, wherever you're at. They're gonna talk smack to you because they want to get in your head. Because if you're not mentally able enough to just not deal with it, it's gonna get in your head. You're gonna be thinking more about them than what's going on in the game. You're gonna make mistakes, and that's what they want. The fans want to get in your head so you make mistakes so their team wins.
Exactly.
It happens all the time.
Especially a quote-unquote super fan.
Yeah. And you have to learn as a player. Like, I get it, he's young, but at the same time, he's not. It's his fourth year now.
Exactly.
So he's not like an 18-year-old kid. But you have to know you can't let it get to you. You have to pay attention to the game and just the game. What's going on around you, you have to completely ignore. Like it doesn't exist. I mean, we went to when I was in high school, we went to some hostile places where those fans did not like us.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole game, as soon as we stepped on their court, the whole game, that student section was in our ears just yelling, especially at the boys' games when I would go watch them. But even at the girls' games, they would still go just because they thought it was fun to mess with us. And some of our players, they'd start jawing back at them. I'm like, no. Pay attention to the game. If a player's talking smack to you, talk smack back to them, get in their head, but you have to ignore the fans.
Absolutely.
No matter what they say. I don't care if they say they killed your dog. It would piss me off, and at some point, like, but you have to ignore it. No matter what they say, ignore it. Now,
I think we all agree, maybe what he did was all right, but where he did it, not so much all right. All right,
because now he's costing his team 3 games.
We got to take a quick break. When we get back, you're going to find out what's urinating us off. We have to talk about the Cavaliers. There's so much going on, we didn't even get to that. 3 up, 3 down, all that, so much more. You're listening to High on Sports on the MSC Radio Network.
Oh, great. Not another Farmville request. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Morning Show Central. Denying one Farmville request at a time.
I know. Oh my God, I know what we're gonna do. Oh, it's so delicious I can almost taste it.
If you're looking for the best sub shop in town, look no further. Hanini Subs, located at 7310 Lorraine Avenue, is the place for you. Stop in for a cold cut sub, cheeseburger and fries, wingdings and fries, and so much more. And almost taste Hanini Subs at 7310 Lorraine Avenue is open 24 hours a day. Check them out on Facebook, facebook.com/Burrito Crazy. And if you mention MSC Radio Network, you'll get $1 off your meal. It's all good at Hanini Subs. So damn good. Yo, it's Woody. Now, I know a thing or two about women, and I want to help all the ladies out there take care of their men. Happy Endings Orgasmically Organic Massage Oil. Yeah, I said orgasmically organic, made right here in Cleveland. Now, no other product delivers this level of purity and performance. It's guaranteed to improve your overall experience and keeps that sensitive skin soft and smooth. Guys, don't be a tool. You're doing it anyway. Might as well do it right. Get your happy ending at happyendingsoil.com. That's happyendingsoil.com. Lakewood Computer, located at 14035 Madison Avenue in Lakewood, has it all. If you're in need of computer repairs or want to cut the cost of ink cartridges and printing supplies, count on Lakewood Computer in Lakewood, Ohio to provide it all. For the past 5 years, Lakewood Computer has been providing you with a huge assortment of computer equipment and services at very competitive prices. Lakewood Computer purchases and sells pre-owned desktops, laptops, and related equipment, and they offer outstanding prices on aftermarket printing supplies, including toner cartridges and ink cartridges. With 29 years of professional experience, Lakewood Computer is highly confident in their ability to enhance your overall computing experience. Check them out online at joeslakewoodcomputer.com. That's joeslakewoodcomputer.com. Or give them a call toll-free, 855-580-0768. That's 855-580-0768.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits. A 99.5% uptime guarantee and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at morningshowcentral.com. MSC Radio Network has just tweeted the following. This bowel movement won't come out. Check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/MSC Radio Network. User-friendly and ready to serve. MorningShowCentral.com.
Oh, wow. Language.
Okay, he was PMSing.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
This is President Barack Obama, and you're listening to MSC Radio Network.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. Pete 99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. With hundreds of live weather products and layers and thousands of combinations, Weather Studio provides a professional graphics and store monitoring solution without complex user knowledge and without the industry standard price tag of $1,000 plus broadcast systems. Weather Studio displays a plethora of critical atmospheric and geophysical data on an interactive GIS-enabled computer map. Get your free 14-day trial of Weather Studio at their website, weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. That's weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. Call the show toll free. 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on MorningShowCentral.com.
Hello, and welcome back to High on Sports. I'm Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
yeah, you are. And this is High on Sports, which has already been established. Check us out. If you don't have the app, I don't know why I did that. I lost my whole momentum. I don't know. Hey, take your smartphone, search for TuneIn Radio. It's free to download. Simply install it, search MSC Radio Network, hit play, and you'll listen to us live on the go from your phone. If you're not listening on your phone, you can take your phone and use the little dialer app, because some phones still have that where you can actually call. And you can dial 1-888-668-0742 to talk to us.
Because it's established.
Exactly.
Cool thing about the TuneIn app, I just found out today. In the local section, if you look up local radio, it also has all the police bandwidths.
Really?
Yes, from all the neighboring cities.
Now, what I really dig is its alarm function. You can set it to automatically open and turn on to a certain thing. You could set an alarm for MSC Radio Network Mondays at 7 p.m. And that way, whether you remember or not, your phone will suddenly turn on the, TuneIn Radio and start playing us at 7. And then we'll actually be there at like 7-something when we go on. But it's pretty cool stuff.
Or it starts playing in your pocket and you're in a meeting.
Exactly.
Yeah, well.
Hey, don't schedule meetings when we're on air.
Right?
Jerks, we don't do that to you. Anyways, email us. Email your questions or comments to shows with an S at morningshowcentral.com. You can find us on Twitter at high_on_sports or use the hashtag high_on_sports. And of course, we're on facebook.com/high_on_sports, the fan page. Go ahead and give it a like. And the website is high_on_sports.net. It's got the weekly archive. Nope. It's got the archive of all our past shows and weekly blog by Mark. I don't know what's happened to me. I'm out the rest of the show. I'm taking the second half off. Yeah, round 2. Let's go. All right. It's time. We're going to do this now, if we can get serious for a moment. It is, of course, Black History Month. And what we've been doing all February long. And by all February long, I mean this is only the second week of February. So for the second time, Von Erich, of course, ever the baseball enthusiast, has been sporting a special jersey every week. And Von Erich, why don't you go ahead and tell us about this week?
Well, a few years ago, a former popular player by the name of Gary Sheffield, went on the record as saying that African-American kids of the youth were not playing baseball, they weren't getting involved, and there was a lot of teams that didn't even have an African-American player on their starting roster. But the Cleveland Indians, being very accepting, even though their logo is
a Native American.
Hey, don't hate on Chief Wahoo.
Like a cheeky, grinning, drunk, red-faced Indian.
Hey.
Even though their logo is a little bit suspect.
No.
They're showing that they are accepting and signing African-American players such as Michael Bourne.
Yeah, Born to be wild. No one says that.
Born
but
to
they
be
should.
fast. That's what that dude is.
Oh, yeah, he is. Leadoff.
Dear Lord.
Leadoff hitter for your Cleveland Indians.
Dude's got some wheels.
And they will be playing, not like playing, but playing. February 26th is the start of spring training.
Hey,
that means pitchers
we're getting
and catchers
closer to
report,
summer.
like, tonight.
Yeah, less than a
Pretty
week.
much.
5 days, I think.
Damn. Now, does Carlos Santana still report? That's an interesting question. I don't
Is
know.
he a catcher now?
No.
To go with the pitchers and catchers?
I don't know what he is now. There's reports he might play some third base. We're looking at potentially first base, third base, catcher, DH.
Yeah, they're
It's going to be all over the
talking
place.
mostly third base for spring
Really?
training. When
Then
he
who-
was playing in the fall leagues, he was playing almost exclusively at third base.
That's interesting. I think we're going to see him a lot at DH too. Because, well, I mean, him and Lonnie, they'll find at-bats. They'll find a way to make this work. And I believe it. Terry Francona is at the helm.
I don't think Lonnie makes a team.
Really? You think Lonnie's done?
I think he's gone.
Well, that means there's going to have to be
Just
another
like
bat.
Matt
That makes
Laporta,
sense.
gone.
You really
in the
think
Orioles
Lonnie's
now.
going to be gone? Wow.
Well, it depends on the options. I don't think they will just cut him just for the sake of cutting him. It really depends on the options, what they have on the table,
Right.
And injuries permitting.
Wow. That's really interesting. We'll get more into baseball, of course, as time goes on, as we get closer, and next week and every week that follows, progressively more and more taking over the show. But I understand you have a urinating off that you would like to share, so why don't you
Well,
go
I'm
ahead?
not really urinated off about anything. It's been a good week. We just did an awesome interview with Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets coach, Dwayne
that's right.
Sheldon.
That's right. If you missed it, of course, check the show out on YouTube. And I'll also
They
be
got a few more
posting-
games coming up. They're playing John Carroll on Wednesday.
They are. I forgot to mention that. I forgot to wish him good luck. John Carroll on Wednesday. That's the Swarm the Gym night. They're trying to have everybody out there wearing their brown and gold. And the next game is what? Marietta, and that's it's the end of the homestand.
Yeah, they play Marietta, and then the old school he used to coach at, Heisenberg University.
They wish they were Heisenberg. But what is it you wanted to talk about? I understand there's something very near and dear to your heart you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, we'll stick with college sports because women's softball just started this past weekend.
You're weird.
You know what? You've changed a lot. I've been thinking about the Winter Olympics and the history of this show because when this show debuted was the last Winter Olympics. So this is a big moment for On Sports. This is our next Winter Olympics. When this show first debuted, you issued a challenge when talk of women's sports came up on one of the first shows ever done. This is before my time. You challenged any woman in the country to challenge you to any sport that they wanted because you believed you would be better because you're a man. And you said women can't be athletes and all that. And look how far you've come now. Big college softball guy.
Oh, well, we do this every year. Every single year.
I'm just saying, I played softball, but
There's
I'm sure
nothing
as
woman
hell
about it?
not watching women's softball. I'm
Von
not
Erich's
watching
Thing
it.
to watch.
This is Von Erich's
on
dedication.
TV.
It's terrible. It's so terrible. No.
That's what makes it so
have you
good.
been watching more lately?
Just how bad
Well,
it is.
What's been going on lately?
It just started this
of
past
course.
weekend. They did the
Practices?
opening season tournament.
Right.
Tennessee was the preseason #1 with returning pitcher Ellen Renfro.
Yeah.
Of
See,
course,
they only need one
led
pitcher.
the team last year to.
Stupid.
Yeah, they really only do need one pitcher.
You only need one pitcher. No
They
one
pitch-
can hit.
They'll pitch a 17-inning game, and then they'll have a doubleheader, and then they'll pitch again.
You know what? I'm surprised with your insight and your love of with your Ashley's, like with your perspective on it, and Von Erich with your just raw passion for the sport. I'm surprised this show isn't high on women's softball. Honestly,
No, because it's terrible.
I'm surprised we ever.
All
bring up
women's
other
sports are terrible to watch.
Now I know why you changed, Von Erich, because you can't possibly hate women athletes
It's more than I
more than
do.
the woman on the show.
and I'm a woman athlete.
I
it makes no
gave up
sense.
on that gimmick. I'll throw that one out the door.
Exactly. You can't compete with her. She just hates it. So
That's
much.
what's sad
But
is
this
I
isn't even before Ashley was on the show. We
Oh,
were
right.
doing
Softball
We were
updates.
doing softball updates
Absolutely.
with scoreboards and all that.
One
Because
nothing.
that's, because
two
that's,
one.
because
one
that's
nothing.
the beauty of us. You're going to turn on the big juggernauts, the ESPNs on the...
Yeah, that was back
Fox
when
Sports One, and
UCLA
you're not
was
gonna
the
see
big
that stuff.
softball team. UCLA isn't even ranked this year.
Exactly.
Oh man,
Times they are
because
changing.
they don't got a. They must not have a pitcher.
Bob Dylan said that. Thank you though, Von Erich. I
Tennessee won, by the way. They beat Oakland University 14-3. I guess
Damn.
they were,
Somebody scored
letting-
some runs.
letting Oakland University play because it's Black History Month, I'm guessing.
Oh, Oakland. I thought that was Oklahoma. I'm like, oh, no
No.
wonder they're playing a sister of the
Oakland.
poor.
No, they're playing. Yeah, they're playing Oakland. The Oak
Basically,
Bears?
what are they like?
Grizzlies?
Are they even Division One?
Yeah, this
like
is
that.
all Division One.
Are they Grizzlies, Bears, something like that?
Well, I
Grizzly
know
Bears?
Tennessee is, but I didn't know Oakland was.
Are they the Lady Grizzlies?
I
Are they
could
the
not tell
Oakland
you what they
Lady
are.
Grizzlies? They might be. That's Oakland, Michigan, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I feel like that's.
And
Yeah,
it doesn't
they-
say all the
That's-
games
that's
were
in
played
Michigan.
in.
It's in Michigan. That's
Yeah, that.
Well, we'll be talking
I don't
more
know that
college
much about it.
softball
Who does?
throughout the
Nobody.
year. Let's go pro though. We got to do this. We got to talk about this. The Cavaliers fired Chris Grant this year. You can argue all you want. Either, no matter what you say, though, the Cavaliers have won their last two. I love what Deion Waiters
we
said.
talked about that last week.
I'm convinced we can go back and check the archive, but we talked about it after the show, like as we were leaving, just sort of our typical
Chris
post-show
Grant and Mike Brown
chit-chat.
getting canned.
We were talking about should they fire Mike Brown. Well, we talked about firing Mike
No,
Brown.
I think we
Yeah.
talked about it on the
Show.
show. Yeah, firing Mike Brown, and I said I think they'll fire the GM first.
You, yeah,
You were right about that.
I know for sure
because-
you said that. Whether it was on air or not, I don't remember, but I can go back
yeah,
and
that's
check the
probably off
archive.
air.
I mean, either way, you did say it. I will give you credit where credit is due. That I did not think that the GM would go before
Neither did I, not
Mike
before.
Brown, especially when they fired Chris Grant and the next day Dan Gilbert's hyping up the talent on this team and everything great about this roster. You just kicked out the dude who built it.
Right? That's why I don't understand, because Chris Grant has nothing to do. He brought the talent. I mean, yeah, he made the stupid-ass move of bringing Mike Brown back, which is exactly why Mike Brown should have been fired first.
Exactly.
But that's pretty much the only, really bad move
And you
that
know
he
what?
made.
Mike Brown is not going anywhere this year. Not even just because a sacrificial lamb was slaughtered in Chris Grant, but because in the post Chris Grant firing little press meet and greet thing, he did specifically say that he believes his team can rally around Mike Brown and what he has
That's just
and move
silliness.
forward and everything. He gave a full vote of support. Now, there's been so much talk about the fact that it's a 5-year deal with him,
It's
and the
stupid.
fact that if you fire him now, you're on the hook for 4 years and change. It's going to be a lot of money. But
Why would you sign that
honestly,
moron to 5
Let's not
years?
forget here, guys. Dan Gilbert's a billionaire. And-
Right?
and
I think
he
he'll
knows
take the hit.
Winning and going to the playoffs and competing for titles is ultimately going to win you more money than
Than
the money you're
losing.
going to lose paying him.
Yeah.
So let's be honest here. For anyone that wants to bring that up as sort of an excuse that he won't get fired for financial reasons, you have a point, but it's not a correct point. Let's just be clear about that. It just bothers me so much, this whole situation. And the weirdest part in all of it is David Griffin, who is now our acting GM. He is not our interim GM. He is our acting GM. And everything I've heard from people in the know sounds to me like this is his job to lose. That it's not that they didn't give him the interim title because he is basically like, you're the GM, don't screw that up. But I feel like it could be that they named him acting GM in a hopes of retaining him if and when they bring in a new GM. Is he can be the guy who was just acting as GM and can go back to his role. It's going to be really, really interesting to see if they allow David Griffin to pull off a move before this trade deadline, which is this month. So this is a crucial month to not just the Cavaliers right now, but potentially the future going forward. If he can swing some sort of blockbuster trade, and the Cavs start winning and actually wind up in the playoffs, which is still mathematically can very much happen, has been the weirdest part about this whole bumpy ride.
Right?
The Cavs aren't even close to out of it yet, which is just sad when you think about it. I almost feel like a part of me would be sad if they made the playoffs, like they didn't earn this. This isn't right. But then again, it would be totally overshadowed by the other 99% of me that's like, hell yeah, the Cavs are in the playoffs, so forget that. But it's just really going to be interesting to see how much power David Griffin is even allowed to have over this roster and over everything. If the Cavs really want him to be the guy going forward, or if he is just somebody with a pulse to hold the spot until we get something else. Let's talk something else basketball though. It is about to be All-Star Weekend. It starts Thursday night, I want to say, or Friday night, I believe. Something like that. I think Thursday actually has the celebrity game.
Yeah, it's always the day
Friday
before everything starts.
is going to have the Rising Stars Challenge, whatever. The rookie-sophomore game that's not rookie versus sophomore anymore. It's a fantasy draft style because everything has to do that. And then obviously we get into Saturday, which has all the real festivities. The 3-point, the scales challenge, all that jazz. And then, of course, Sunday is the actual game. I want to talk about something, though, that hasn't been relevant for quite a while. I will, for the first time in a while, go out of my way to be watching the Slam Dunk contest.
Oh.
This is the best lineup for a Slam Dunk contest that I think they have put together in literally years.
Yeah,
in
they've
years
been
and years and years.
terrible lately.
The least biggest name here is Terrence Ross, who is the defending champion. So the smallest name here is the guy who's trying to defend his title. We've got Ben McLemore is there, Harrison Barnes, Damon Lillard, who's in everything, John Wall, and Paul George. This is a pretty star-studded event this year.
Yeah.
That absolutely blows my mind. I mean, at least 3 of them are guys you would call either full-on or soon-to-be superstars.
Yeah.
Max deal type of guys in Paul George, John Wall, and Damian Lillard. And then you've got talented guys like Harrison Barnes and guys whose names are still big from college in Ben McLemore. And then, of course, Terrence Ross, who's kind of big because he won it last year. Again, I find that hilarious that he is literally the least person that I'm excited to see dunk.
Yeah.
And he just won. So, I mean, this is just a lot more exciting than putting in who's that guy who won a couple years ago, that bench guy from the Jazz. They called him the human pogo stick. And he was averaging about 1.6 points a game.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get out of here soon, but we're going to do something very special here. We're going to do something that will come to fruition on next week's show. It is the Winter Olympics, and as much as I grumble and moan about it and how much I don't like it, it's a great opportunity to experience sports and athletics that you wouldn't necessarily be exposed to or go out of your way to pay attention to. And of course they do it under the guise of patriotism. You have to support the United States, so you have to go watch the Nordic combined. But either way, you're out there watching the sports, and it's a really unique, fun experience. Now, what we're going to do as broadcast people is we are going to each select a sport, a lame or obscure or whatever you'd like to call it, winter sport that is in the Olympics. We are going to watch it this week. Each one of us are going to watch that sport and pay attention and come in next week with a little report. This is homework. A little report about that sport. And I'm going to let you guys choose first. Ashley, I understand you've already made your decision, and I find it very interesting the one you picked.
now?
We are choosing now. Von Erich, I can.
Pull something out your butt.
Let me just I'll bring up the categories here that we're dealing with. Or Von Erich, you just come right over and look.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Ashley. What are you going to be selecting?
I'm gonna take figure skating.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Ice dancing, if you will.
That's there is actually a part of figure skating apparently now, which I don't remember this when I used to watch it when I was little. There's like an ice dancing section. There's like the normal figure skating where they do the jumps and the spins and all that cool weird stuff. But there's like a dancing part too, and they're just like ballroom dancing on ice.
All right,
What the hell is skeleton?
It's the luge, but you're on your stomach.
Yeah, and you're on like a pipe with wheels. Like
Well, basically, yeah, it's the luge, but you're on your stomach. Like the luge.
Imagine the skeleton of the bobsled. I'm trying to
Face
find a
first
picture
luge?
Yeah,
look at
because
that.
the
It's
luge,
like
you lay on your back and you go down the bobsled hill.
If you can see those tiny
The
pictures there. It's the
skeleton
tiniest
is
board.
All right,
the
give me
luge
skeleton.
just on your stomach.
All right,
I'm down.
Von Erich will be watching and next week reporting on
That would scare them.
skeleton.
Crap
I
out
was
of me.
thinking about curling, but Von Erich made a good point during the break. It's a little hipstery.
It is.
It's a little
People
so
like it
uncool that people are all like, yeah, I only watch curling.
Right,
Yeah, while I'm on
curling.
my Mac at Starbucks.
Yeah, get out your brooms.
You know what I'm going to do is I am going to cover. God, they all suck so bad.
Aw, you're a hater.
No, they do. They really do. I'm going to go. You know what? I'm gonna do Nordic combined. I am someone who does not care about skiing or watching people shoot stuff, so I will make myself care about both, and I will come in next week.
Hey man, they cross country ski, then boom, pew, pop a target, ski a little more, pew.
You know what's
pop a
cooler
target.
is that thing. Is it? I don't know what
It's
it's
a
called.
little-
Is it decathlon? Not decathlon. It's not pentathlon. I think.
What the hell is
in
that?
In the Summer Olympics, is you do 5 things and they combine it. You have like a swim time. You have there's sword fighting in it.
Ooh, that's fun.
Something to do with horses. You're shooting targets, and then there's like one other thing. I think you're just running. It sounds like the coolest action movie. Like, if it was all at once, how cool would that be?
Yes.
Like, you're just sprinting, and then you dive in the pool and take off.
Swim, and then you pop up and start shooting crap.
No, you come out of the pool, and you gotta sword fight somebody to get on your horse, and while on your horse, you're just shooting at guys. Like, that's awesome. Then again, in practice, they're all things one at a time, so it's like, whatever.
Yeah, not so
But
fun.
it sounds cool, doesn't it? And I'm doing basically the winter version of that. Without horses or swords or swimming
I don't know, but
or running. But they're still shooting. So Nordic combined, figure skating, and Von Erich is taking the skeleton. That's going to be awesome. So tune in next week for our Olympic coverage live from not Sochi, Russia. Where we will be spending the whole
where we have working bathrooms.
The duration of the Olympics. It's not that it's not in the budget. We could have probably scrounged up the $50 it takes to get to Sochi, but
right.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I even said to people, as obviously people in the sports broadcasting and stuff is clearly our passion. I've even said to people, I was like, you know what? Going to the Olympics would be one of the greatest honors and coolest things that someone in my field and stuff could do. I don't think I would go.
Not to
if it was
Russia.
free to go to this one.
You go there,
That
your
sounds
phone gets hacked as soon as you get there.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Dude, but the Russians are nuts. They don't play around.
Exactly. All right, let's end the show. 3 up, 3 down. Down number 3, we're going to go with Marcus Smart. Suspended 3 games for pushing Texas Tech superfan
Let him
Jeff
get in your
Ford.
head.
Down number 2, Chris Grant. Cavaliers GM fired this week despite getting praise for the talent he's brought together. Down number 1, reporters, athletes, and dogs in Sochi, Russia. I'm not going to break down why about the dogs. It makes me too sad. We broke it down at the beginning of the show. You can check it out there. Uptime, number 3, Damian Lillard. This will be his coming out party, but he's up this week because not in like a Michael Sam kind of way. Coming out in like a welcome to
awesomeness,
being a superstar. He is competing in almost every All-Star event. He will be in the Rising Stars Challenge, the 3-point shootout, the Skills Challenge, the Slam Dunk contest, and the All-Star game
He
itself.
got everything.
He is in everything this weekend. Up number 2, the Netherlands. Or Holland or something? Are they one thing? I don't understand. The Netherlands.
The Dutch.
Yeah.
The Dutch, if you will. They have swept the entire weekend in speed skating, which is their national sport, interestingly enough. And up number 1, this is a college basketball show. It may not have seemed like it. But up number 1 is the Southern Methodist University Mustangs. Their men's basketball team is ranked 23rd in the nation. Their first ranking since 1985.
Oh, when they got the death penalty, basically?
Yes.
Woo.
Coach Larry Brown getting it done again. His 14th coaching position.
He's coaching
in
again?
his career. Yes, he is.
No.
All right, we got to get out of here. So that's going to wrap it up for us this week. Remember, next week, we're talking Olympics, baseball, basketball, this, that, and the other thing. So for Chris, for Von Erich, for Ashley, I'm Ralphie saying good night, everybody. We will see you next week, same time, same place. Thanks for tuning in to High on Sports on MorningShowCentral.com. Go USA!
America!